Hello, June back again with another Technique Tuesday, and for today I'm going to show you how I made these three Gatefold slider cards. This one, well, I've stamped the same sentiment on all three just for you, and when you open it, happy birthday. The different inside the sentiment, but that just gives you an idea of one. So let's get started. You will need a piece of cardstock that measures 5.5 inches by 8.5, and then you will score at 2 1/8 and 6 3/8, and then burnish your score lines, and then we're going to put some paper on these two panels, and they measure 1 3/4 by 5 3/8, so they would have your wet or dry adhesive, and they are glued in position there, which will give you that. The next step is using the same coloured cardstock. Mine's Antique Copper by Creative Expressions. You will need a piece that measures 3 inches by 5.5, and with the same paper you want this to measure 2 3/4 inches by 5.25, and that gets adhered to the base card. Just put this one out of the way. And once that is glued to your base card, you need to use either a circular punch or a die. I used a die, again by Creative Expressions, from their, what is it called? Pierced circle die set. There's about 10 dies in there. So we need to have a circle here. And once it's either punched or die cut, this is what you will end up with. And you make sure that you've got enough room at the top to put your foam pads, and keep it a good distance at the bottom of the circle for foam pads, because you don't want to stop the shutter action. So we've glued that onto there, and now we've either die cut a circle or used a punch. And when you've done that, what you need to do is remove the backing on your foam pads, I've seen several people make this type of card, and what they've done is, with the sentiment which goes behind this circle and is practically hidden with the shutters, is they've put the shutters in place, and then they've had to maneuver the circle behind the shutters. So what I've done is, and I do hope this works, I've already stamped just for you on there, and I am going to place this over it, And I know in hindsight I should have used the next size up with the die to cover all of that, but it's done now, so we'll just see what effect it does have at the end. And I've just gone a little skew with that. That will do. Next step is 2 pieces of card for the shutters, and they will measure 3.5 inches by 4 inches, and you're going to score 1/2 inch on the left hand side. I've done that and I've added my score tape. You want a strong score tape, adhesive tape or glue for this, for those sides. And then if you take your ruler and pencil and measure 1 3/4, which is half of the 3.5 inches, 1 3/4, which is there, and then make a mark. And then from there we want the center, which is 2 inches, as this is 4 inches. And then using your pencil, from that center point to the corner of your card, mark it. And do the same on this side, from the center to the point, because we're going to cut that out. And I'll just see if I can do 2 together. They will move a little depending on what sort of card you're using and how good a grip you can hold. As you can see, I'm struggling today. Just get that down. Well, fine. So the next step is you need to slide the left side in, and I want to show you something here. At the edge of your shutter, you need to secure it to the base card just below that score line. If you don't put it on the score line, because then your card won't open or close properly. So it goes just below that. And the other shutter goes on top of that. But you may be able to see, sometimes it is difficult when it's the same card on card. We have 2 points protruding there, and that interferes with how your card will close. So just snip those off. you don't have to do it on the other side. So we'll go back in and I'm taking that where I want it to sit. Take your backing paper off and then bring your card over. That's fine. And now this one goes on top of the first shutter. It's not as fiddly as this, it's because I'm restricted today. That's it. Get over. And you want to ensure the bottom of the right hand shutter is aligned with the left. And then push that in to get it under the score line. Just go a little bit further back there. I do apologise for yet again my croaky voice. I did have cold about 2 weeks ago, which has gone when this croaky voice started at the weekend. Right, I think we're in position there. No, we're not. Get up there. Now sometimes, depending on your card stock, excuse me, it takes a few opening and closing to get a smooth application. Isn't that good? You could decorate this so many different ways, from a young child having a birthday to a senior, like that. So now, to keep this closed, we need a band. This is 1 inch wide and 9.5 inches long. And I want the join at the front rather than the back. I don't want a join at the back. And this is because we are going to cover this join with a topper to finish that off. So we'll have a little bit of glue there and a little bit there. Just hold it for a second or two. Actually, I can put the rest of the topper on here. So, with some more foam pads, I'll have one in the middle there. I'll just half this one. Like that. And what I've made for this one, I've die cut the antique copper card. I stamped hello on some white card, die cut that, and then just to give it some texture I embossed it, because there's no flowers going on this one like the 3 previous. And then I used some pearls from Hobby House, and this is from the Chocolate Haven collection. That will sit on there. This is an ideal mail card without the flowers and such like. And there you have your Gatefold shutter card. Quite a selection there. So thank you once again for spending some time with me. I hope you give this a try, and until the next video, take care and happy crafting. Bye.